Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Good evening, namaskar, adab. A man who has been a thorn in flesh of an entire generation in our country, let's say in the 80s and 90s, an individual who's been described as one of the most charismatic people ever to have played the gentleman's game, the game of cricket. That man today is being accused by his former wife of being a traitor, a cheat, a liar, a sexual predator whose word carries no meaning. Now, Imran Khan is an individual who needs absolutely no introduction to anyone in India, but the person, the woman who's leveling all these allegations against Imran Khan certainly requires an introduction. This is Reham Khan, someone who was married to Imran Khan rather briefly, and after a divorce which took place between the two of them, she decided to go and settle down in London. Now, Reham Khan has written a book. She's calling this book as a book which will shake the very root of the political establishment in Pakistan. Just 60 days to go before polling kicks off in Pakistan, where Imran Khan, by the way, is fancying his chances as shining the brightest perhaps in the longest time. This book is revealing some very, very uncomfortable secrets about Imran Khan. Now, we can take it with a pinch of salt. We can say that this is nothing else but a love affair which has gone completely haywire, and maybe Reham Khan is upset. Maybe Reham Khan simply wants to settle her personal score by targeting Imran Khan. But there are some critical pieces of evidence which has been provided by Reham Khan in that book, which is of deep significance to you and me, the citizens of India. The individual Imran Khan, not just a cricketer, the politician Imran Khan, who aims to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan. What kind of an individual is he? Who are the kind of people Imran Khan is being backed by? Are those individuals anti-India elements? That's the main reason why Reham Khan is the big newsmaker on the program tonight.
Of sexual harassment or sexual favors. There are specific incidents in relation to certain positions, and I've been very specific about them, and the reason I can't give you a little bit more titillating facts is because morality is important to me, but I have a position of authority because I've seen the human side, the inside of, what he's inside when the makeup is off and when, when the cameras are off, and so I give you that insight as well, which was frustrating for me. But if you turn up to my office in a particular state, or you carry on in a work sphere like that, where it poses a problem to your boss or to your colleagues, then it's a problem. So I've discussed those incidents which relate particularly to abuse of power. If you are constantly, people have referred to the fact that he's Mr. U-turn, and so that is what I found really frustrating.
You voted in 2013 for who?
For Imran.
Right.
I voted for...
Would you do that again?
No. Then I think that you're cheating the voters if you say that this is an upright young man.
ये मैं करार के Welcome back. Without wasting any more time, let's straight away go and listen in to the lady of the moment, the big newsmaker tonight. That interview, which has been done by my colleague Sanjay Suri in London, has really created a huge buzz across corridors of power here in India, in America, and in Pakistan. Everyone wants to know exactly what is the evidence Reham Khan has, specifically on the points of corruption against Imran Khan, and who are these divisive characters that Imran Khan seems to be associated with.
You've written this book that we are all waiting for. What does this tell us about Imran Khan that many of us may not know? Now, in his political capacity, he's preparing to contest the position of Prime Minister. Is there something the electorate needs to know, or you think they need to know, that they don't already?
The main thrust of the book is basically about how we as individuals, whether we are sort of, journalists or informed people of the media, people who have a keen interest in politics, people from political families, I think that we don't really know what we're voting for. And it's not so much
When you say
because
we don't know, you're talking about Imran Khan.
I'm talking
That
about...
people didn't know what they voted for when they voted him.
I didn't, so I speak from my perspective, but it's not only about Imran, it is actually about even, for example, here in the UK. I've voted before, I voted in Pakistan in 2013. So I traced why we, or what's this frame of mind we are in when we go to vote. What is the information that is to hand? And it's interesting because more than other people, you'd expect a person who's a journalist who's covering certain issues to know a little bit better. But I argue whether we do really know what we are voting for. And in this instance, when I voted in 2013, I didn't really know what I was voting for.
You voted in 2013 for who?
For Imran.
Right.
I voted for...
Would you do that again?
No.
Why not?
Well, they've not done anything in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and so it's of course a problem across Pakistan. But you see, when you vote for someone who pretends or professes to be different, you have higher expectations. And the fact is that we have seen the same sort of politics, or even perhaps much less strength in addressing some issues. So, for example, child protection units in 11 districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa have recently been shut down. Now, child protection is a huge issue with 22.7 million children out of school in Pakistan.
It no doubt is a huge issue. But let's talk about military protection to Imran Khan. He is a leader who has spoken very strongly against the military. In fact, at one meeting he said that generals are cowards, that a general would pee in his trousers if confronted with a crowd of 20,000. And now clearly he is contesting this from the lap of the military. Does this change surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me, armed with what I know, and it won't surprise you when you read the book that I've just written. And a lot of people...
What does it say that would lead me to think as you think I might?
It gives you an insight into, like I said, a voter, a journalist, how we actually unconsciously sometimes propagate or a part of the propaganda machinery, like I was, unconsciously. And also it obviously gives you an insight into what sort of a human being he is, what sort of a...
Specifically what?
Well, the fact that, what you hinted about, the fact that he's constantly been changing his position on the military, if you just isolate that one issue, a lot of people, when they go to vote for someone, say, for example, they're voting for Modi ji, they pretty much know what they're getting. And I think that's the problem with all the parties now. We don't know what we are voting for. If we're voting for someone because we think he's liberal, and then we see him promoting a very strong Islamist agenda, we get a bit confused.
You mentioned the Islamist agenda. Do you see him as pushing that agenda?
You see, I would be fine with anyone promoting a certain religious agenda if they believed in it. And equally, I wouldn't have a problem with someone who is, say, very pro-military, because, again, you would know where you stand. But with Imran, what I explore in the book as well, and I think a lot of people know about it, but of course, I have a position of authority because I've seen the human side, the inside of, what he's inside when the makeup is off and when, when the cameras are off. And so I give you that insight as well, which was frustrating for me.
Would that suggest some sort of opportunism?
Well, yes, I would be brave enough to say that if you are constantly, people have referred to the fact that he's Mr. U-turn, and so that is what I found really frustrating, because, and there's a famous line in the book where I say that, I won't be voting for you next year. Next coming elections. I say that when I was his wife, and he just laughed, and I thought, well, I don't know what you're about. And so with the Islamist agenda, it's not an Islamist agenda, it is an agenda which will secure votes. So if you're using the right bank vote only to become a prime minister, I have a problem with that. If you really believed in it, I would have very little to criticize. As an individual, maybe I wouldn't vote for you, but at least people would know. But the fact that they're constantly sort of changing loyalties is not something that I'm comfortable with. The biggest, I think, worry is the fact that if you look at, even if you don't look at the book, if you look at just the past 6 months or so, the decisions that have been taken make anyone, even his backers, if he has any, it should make them very nervous, because he can't stick to.
Like
for
what?
example, I mean, there have been certain inclusions in the party of people who have been charged for gang rape, for example. And so when I am voting for change, I don't see that change. The idea, the reason we voted for Imran was because he was against the status quo. And if you become a cheaper version, a cheap copy of the status quo, even, actually, how sad a comment is it that the PMLN and the Pakistan People's Party are actually looking cleaner than PTI at the moment. I feel strongly that there's a serious risk of handing a country, handing the reins of a country to someone or an individual who is not only backed by people who want to divide us into very extremist groups, which we have seen, standing with extremist groups.
By present indications, you'd be happy to go with an aggressive policy on India if that were to suit the military?
Well, you see, this is again very, very nerve-wracking for us because we are a nuclear-empowered country, and so we cannot have the whole point of a politician is, and I know that our military gets a lot of criticism, but you see, we've not had strong politicians. I firmly believe that if we had better representation, the military would take guidance from politicians because that's how policy is made.
In the end, Ms. Khan, some leaked reports about the content of your book suggest that you have chapters on boys and girls and sex and drugs and rock and roll. That's one. Sounds colorful. Another on heroin and cocaine. Are these matters you take up in the book, and do any of these have a bearing on what you say about Imran Khan?
The book is an in-depth book about my life and my relationships and how those relationships and the problems in those relationships, both mine and my partners, how do they have an impact on the future or the futures of all Pakistanis and in fact people in our region.
And those matters particularly?
So I've discussed morality, and I've discussed morality in terms of nepotism, meritocracy or the lack of it. I've discussed sexual harassment. I've discussed sexual coercion and how it is used, how sexual favors are used for political positions, for media positions. And some of them are directly related to Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and
Imran Khan particularly, personally?
Well, I suppose that, you know, people at the top have to take responsibility of what happens in their household and in the party. Are we talking about indirect
responsibility, or are we speaking about anything potentially more than that?
Both.
And that is something you do take up in this book.
Yes.
Direct involvement in the kind of issues that we spoke of a minute back.
Yes. Direct involvement.
We are speaking of Imran Khan.
Direct involvement in positions or nepotism or favors which have nothing to do with merit, which have to do with nepotism, which have to do with bypassing meritocracy.
But we were speaking of a little more than that. We were speaking about sex, drugs.
Yes, I'm talking about sexual favors, sexual coercion and sexual harassment, and how that needs to be addressed. And that needs to be said, and I have spoken at length in the book.
Is that the reason people fear this book? Some people?
I think that there's more to it why they fear that, because you see, sadly in Pakistan, and I suppose it's true globally as well, we see this as not such a big problem. And I think that sexual coercion and sexual favors that's the problem, is seen as acceptable. If people are in power, if a man is in power, it is seen as something that is almost something that I should turn a blind eye to. The society should turn a blind eye to. Is that something you had
reason to discover as someone who is married to Imran Khan?
I have led my life as a role model for my daughters and for other women. And I say repeatedly in the book that I'm not here because of anything unprincipled. And it's not because of a lack of offers, but it's just that I think that you go further without giving favors. And I'm very clear about past experiences also where I've turned down jobs on that basis. And I've made it very clear to the girls who have had to compromise or who feel that they have to compromise that they shouldn't have to feel that they need to be pressurized into or coerced into a position. I'm a strong proponent of standing up for what you believe in.
And there are women out there who have reason to have such apprehensions, and in relation to Imran Khan.
Yes, and there is, and why I've talked about it is because, you see, I feel very strongly that if one woman has or can compromise, another woman who perhaps deserves the position will lose her career. And that is the biggest problem across the world, where some people will compromise, but a large number of women will not be able to compromise.
In the very end, any examples you can share of this?
There are certain bits of very specific instances. So I've not spoken loosely in the book, and of course, because the book is not published.
Specific instances of what?
Of sexual harassment or sexual favors. There are specific incidents in relation to certain positions, and I've been very specific about them. And the reason I can't give you a little bit more titillating facts is because there's been a lot of obviously lies being spread already, which I think is taking away from the book. Because to be quite honest, it doesn't really matter to me as much. Morality is important to me, but if somebody does something in their own time, say for example you do something after 7 p.m. in your private life, that should not be my concern. But if you turn up to my office in a particular state, or you carry on in a work sphere like that, where it poses a problem to your boss or to your colleagues, then it's a problem. So I've discussed those incidents which relate particularly to abuse of power.
And you believe people should keep such issues in mind when they take a decision whether to vote for Imran Khan or not?
Well, the reason is quite simply this, that if I'm voting for a representative who is there not because he is capable, competent, has something to contribute to the parliament, because of some intellect, then I think that we are cheating the voters. If you say that this is an upright young man or upright young woman, or an intellectual, but actually that's not the reason why they got, because that's what we voted for. So I think you really need to understand who you're voting for.
Thank you very much, Ms. Khan, for talking to us.
Okay, that's as direct and as candid as one can be when it comes to talking about one's own former partner. Those are the allegations which have been made by her. Again, I'm repeating, these are allegations. Does she have evidence or not? In a short while from now, we'll be joined live by Reham Khan herself, and we'll ask her whether all these points that she's making, does she have any evidence or not? Let's raise that big blunt question on the program tonight. Why does it impact you and me? Why should it be of importance to Indian viewers? Will Reham's bedroom secrets spook Imran Khan's prime ministerial ambition? Full panel joining us to answer that question. Barrister Zaid Hamid, former Pakistani diplomat, is live on the show. Ayaz Memon, veteran cricket commentator, someone who knows Imran Khan. He'll be able to perhaps throw some light on Imran Khan, the man, the individual, what kind of a personality he had while he was a cricketer. Mona Alam, Pakistani political analyst. Meher Tarar, another well-known Pakistani journalist, knows Reham Khan well, has been tracking this entire story for a while. Mubin Rashid, another Pakistani journalist who was one of the initial creators, the processors perhaps for this book, and then something happened and decided to withdraw himself from that book. And Salman Ahmed, well-known activist, artist, someone who is known in India as a member of that very popular rock band Junoon. Warm welcome to all of you. Let me first begin with you, Meher Tarar. What do you make out of all these allegations, Meher? Some very serious allegations being made there by Reham Khan, where she says that Imran Khan is on the same side as Pakistani military. Imran Khan is an individual who is a puppet in the hands of divisive forces. I want to know, who are these people who are controlling Imran Khan, Meher?
Look, I cannot comment on certain allegations she has made in the book that I have no knowledge of. This is the first time I've heard her speak of these things. Honestly, if she has issues with Imran Khan's political ideology, or the problems she had with him in their marital life, I don't really have anything to say about that. It's not my business. It's nobody's business. It's her opinion. And before I say anything, I do believe that anybody and everybody has a right to say or write what they want to. It's a free will.
Is it just washing of dirty linen? Let's be clear. Are you saying is it just washing of dirty linen in public? Is that your viewpoint?
I would never demand that a book be banned, or it shouldn't be published. I'm totally against that. Having said that, I have a problem with what has been written in this book, allegedly written, and there are certain things that I have seen with my own eyes. I'm not going to, of course, reveal my source, but I've seen pages of the book, and they are hugely disturbing because they are about people who are no longer there to defend themselves. For instance, Imran's father. There is stuff about Wasim Akram's wife. There is stuff about Imran Khan's children, his wife, his sisters, and PTI's female politicians. When you talk about political sexual favors being exchanged between a political leader and females around him, obviously she's directly talking about PTI politicians. Of course, she can say she's talking about everybody else in Pakistan. This is something I have a huge issue with. As a Pakistani female, I believe we have a long way to go before Pakistan is actually a safe and wonderful place for women. But we've always had women in politics, and for an ex-wife to simply I can't comment on her
No,
agenda.
but no.
I have no
It's
idea
not.
why she has written the book.
No.
I have no idea
That's what we're
she
trying to
hopes
understand. That's what we're trying to understand. Barrister Said, my question is, I'm looking at how the Pakistani media, for instance, has been treating this story, and it appears to me that there is a great sense of unease about this book. Now, this book has not yet been published, and I myself am saying that we don't know whether Reham Khan has evidence to back the claims that she's making. But these are very, very serious claims that she's making. These are serious allegations that she's making. What explains this sense of unease? Whether it's a Pakistani cricketers fraternity, whether it's a Pakistani political fraternity, the Pakistani military, what explains this unease with these allegations, with this book, which has been written by Barrister Said?
The trouble with the book is that its timing. It has come out obviously with the intent to harm Imran Khan's campaign. I can understand that Reham Khan was very disappointed when she was divorced soon after her marriage. At a human level, she deserved our sympathy. But I think one of her motivations is to fight back on it and to have a sort of vengeance attitude.
Well, she's been accused in the past.
Barrister
Said, she's been accused.
Yeah,
she's been accused of attempting to siphon off funds from Imran Khan's party. She's been accused of trying to take millions of dollars away. Now, is this just her way of getting back at Imran Khan, or is there something more to it?
No. Imran Khan himself acted as a gentleman. He had some reservations about the marriage and they divorced. But he did not defame her. No, he treated her quite with dignity. But of course, now all these subordinates are attacking her because of the book, which is not published yet. In fact, she cannot publish that book unless she takes out these defamatory.
But why? If these are just defamatory observations that you're saying, if these are just, I'm just saying she comes out with allegations, and I'm saying there is unease in Pakistan. Now you say the book is being banned also in Pakistan. I'm saying if all this is fake, if all this is fictitious, then why this demand? Why this demand to ban this book?
No. There is a law of defamation and libel in this country.
Yes.
Libel is both a criminal offense and also a civil offense. And if someone says that I'm going to publish this book in which I'm going to do this, that, the other, and abuse you, then you have the right to go and stop it.
Really?
This is up to the courts now. The courts will have to stop it.
Okay, Salma, can I just go? So the courts. So what are you saying? Are you demanding a ban? Are you demanding a ban like many other elements in Pakistan, many other authors who I'm saying are demanding a ban on this book?
No, I'm not demanding any ban, but the defamatory portions, the libel, has to by law taken out.
No.
It has to, otherwise she'll get into serious trouble.
Mubin, Salman Ahmed is on the phone line as well.
Not against
One moment. Mubin, please explain to me, Mubin. As an Indian viewer, as citizens of India, I want to know whether there is any truth to the allegations which are being made by Reham Khan. Now, you were associated with the writing of this book. What happened? Can you explain to us what happened that made you move away from the creation of this book, from publishing of this book in totality?
It's more than a fantasy than a reality. There are rumors which you can discuss, but you can't write in the news. I mean, as a journalist, you understand this thing, and I also believe on this thing. But there are some rumors against any politician, any person, or any celebrity like Imran Khan, who was a very known cricketer, very famous world-known non-cricketer, and then turned into a politician. And once you are in the relation didn't end up as well as it should be expected in the case of Jemima. You can see after such a long time, they ended up the relation with 2 kids, and Imran still meeting those kids. But in her case, the marriage prolonged only for 10 months, and then there were some people who were trying to, doing some ceasefire between both of them, that they should not speak against each other. But what happened is, because I am the witness of the initial days of all, when this divorce happened and she came here, I know there were very close friends of Imran Khan who were trying to stop her, that she should not go to any extent to defame Imran. in the start, it was agreed as well.
Could it be that they were
Whatever
worried?
the terms-
No, I could argue that maybe they were worried. I could argue that Imran Khan was maybe beginning to feel the heat. Maybe Imran Khan was beginning to feel scared. And we've seen these episodes play out, on multiple other occasions. So maybe he sent his peace snakes, he sent his emissaries to ensure that she could be kept silent. And she's not choosing to be silent. Could that be the case as well, Mubin?
Well, actually, as I perhaps told before, I don't know if you know this from here, that she also got the BlackBerry of Imran Khan when she came out of Banigala on the last day after divorce. So you can understand that a BlackBerry of Imran Khan can have a very secret information. So that can be the only worrying point maybe for Imran Khan. Rest of other, I don't think so there will be any secret point or any other thing which Reham can disclose, or perhaps any allegation which Reham can prove on record in the courts in UK or perhaps in Pakistan.
Salman Ahmed.
So it will be a difficult, I think.
Salman, welcome to the show. We in India, we are aware of the fact that you have a very warm and personal relationship with Imran Khan and his entire family. Tell me, does this book embarrass Imran Khan? Does this book in some way put the roadblock, put the speed breaker in Imran Khan's ambition of becoming the Prime Minister of Pakistan?
Well, just to speak logically and with reason, I wrote an autobiography, Rock and Roll Jihad, which was published by Simon & Schuster, and in India it was published by Jaco Books. Now, every chapter, a legal team had to go through each of the stories to verify my facts. That's so that it was not propaganda, so it was not libel, so that it was not defamation. So I'm saying that Reham Khan's book, people should write books. They should be allowed to write books, but they can't use their books to, target a political candidate just before the elections with propaganda. And this book, I have read the manuscript. The PDF of the manuscript. It reads in a summary like this. Nawaz Sharif, Shehbaz Sharif, Nawaz Sharif's daughter, Maryam Sharif, are angels, princes, are the most beautiful leaders that Pakistan has ever seen. Imran Khan is the devil. That's, in a summary, that is what a book is that I've read. Now, other people, for example, my friend Jemima Goldsmith, who's the ex-wife of Imran Khan, I've been in touch with her for the last 3 days. Today, she found out and she tweeted this.
Maybe it's just a selective interpretation. Salman, it could be a selective understanding of the situation, because what you're saying that, so therefore look at what Mubin is saying.
Sir, I'm a witness.
Sir, but Mubin is also saying that she walked away with Imran Khan's BlackBerry. Now maybe in that phone, maybe there is some evidence that she's gotten hold of. Why are we being completely dismissive of whatever she's saying?
On a legal point, can you walk away? Can you steal somebody's BlackBerry?
Well, I don't know. If she was a wife, she stayed with him. She stayed with him.
You are the media. If someone is divorced and steals something which doesn't belong to her, is that legally? Can you use the information?
At what stage? Okay, one moment. Let me get that settled with Mubin. Mubin, since you were talking about this, that maybe she walked away with the BlackBerry of Imran Khan, do we know at what stage did she get access to that BlackBerry, if at all you're aware of this?
Here in UK, she told clearly to Hissar in front of me that yes, I have the BlackBerry and I have copied that data to 2-3 different places to secure it. So you can well imagine that she got all the information from that BlackBerry. But the question which Salman has raised, is it legal to take out BlackBerry from somebody and you are getting divorced and you are trying to blackmail him using that BlackBerry is not a good idea. So it itself make a question on the credibility of Reham Khan herself as well, because if she is doing things like this, and you can understand how relation get ended, and she was planning already to get rid of Imran Khan, and she knows when the relation will end up. So how she can blackmail him using all those texts, and she was not expecting the divorce. Trust me.
Okay, can I just ask all of you to hold on? Because Reham Khan is on the phone line with us now, and Reham has been listening to this entire conversation which has been going on. Reham, thank you so much for joining us. We just played your interview with my colleague Sanjay Suri, and look at the overwhelming sentiment here, which is being expressed by many of our panelists from Pakistan. All of them are saying that you are the villain, that you are using this book only and only to settle your personal scores with Imran Khan. Is this just washing of dirty linen? Do you just want to hit back in Imran Khan? And is that the reason why you've written this book?
First of all, I wish to remind the panelists that they've not seen the book. And if they've seen the book and it's allegedly my book, then they are guilty of intellectual theft. And if it's not my book, then it's their book. If we're talking about my book, I can tell you that my book is my autobiography, and all my husbands are mentioned in it. Of course, one of my husbands, what he is up to, or what I've seen, or what I think that he's, which directions he takes in life, I think are in the public interest. So it is not a kiss and tell book. I think they mean to demean it purely because they have a lot of things to hide. They're obviously trembling. Otherwise, they should. If it is just a kiss and tell book, and if there is nothing to be worried about, why are they so panicky?
Ma'am, let me put this way, ma'am.
Seen a book in public.
I'm now let's keep the book aside and let's only focus on the interview. You, in course of that interview with my colleague Sanjay Suri, you have made 2-3 points which have caught my attention. Now, I look at politics very closely here in India and in Pakistan. I'm interested to know this as an Indian citizen, that when you say that you were witness to corrupt practices of Imran Khan, now, do you have any evidence? Do you have any evidence? Because I can counter you and I can say that there are many in Pakistan who are accusing you of being corrupt. There are allegations against you that you wanted to siphon, I don't know how many millions of dollars from the TTP accounts. So, do you have evidence of this corruption that you say was taking place under Imran Khan's own nose in his own party?
I have been a journalist for the province that Imran and Imran's party rules in. So I brought these reservations into the marriage, and he promised me that he would address them. So we have evidence in the book also, but also everybody in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, because it's a province that is overlooked. There are instances of corrupt practices, of nepotism, and of places where they have given contracts and work has not been done. And those are the things that I've discussed in the book, and those are the things that I speak very, very
Who was paying him the money?
On television.
Who was paying him the money? Well, if you say that corruption was taking place, I would assume that Imran Khan was accepting money from someone. Who was paying Imran Khan that money, ma'am?
Well, if I have an organization and somebody, an employee in my organization is doing something which is illegal or has been flagged up, so for example, for the KP, we have an Ehtisab bureau, sort of like a National Accountability Bureau, but provincial level, and they were flagging up these things, but those things were not noticed. They were not taken, Imran was not taking any notice
Can
of
I just
it.
ask you to hold on?
Now
you say that this is public knowledge. Salman Ahmed is on the phone line as well. And Salman is directly accusing you. Salman, you're there, and you can hear Reham Khan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Please ask Reham Khan. Yeah.
Reham, so I want to ask you, did you not take 1 crore
I'm sorry,
rupees?
I refuse to speak to him, and I will not answer people who have nothing to do with me, and I will only speak to the presenter. I refuse to acknowledge those who have absolutely nothing to do with me. I do beg your pardon. So if the presenter asks the question,
I'm asking. I'm asking. One moment. Let's one moment. One moment, Reham. One moment. Let's just. Yeah. Salman, what's your specific question? Are you saying that Reham Khan took money? Are you saying that Reham Khan took money, Salman?
I'm trying to say, please let me finish. Reham Khan took 1 crore rupees from Aleem Khan. Khan Saab, member of his, she's talking about nepotism, corruption. So Aleem Khan is a witness. I have other witnesses who said 1 crore rupees. Then, talk about nepotism, she asked Imran Khan that her brother and her uncle would be office bearers of PTI, which she got reprimanded.
So let's take that one by one.
19 this year.
Let's take that one by one. Reham, specific allegation. Specific allegation. Yeah, one by one. Specific allegation. You took 1 crore. You took 1 crore. So I want to know, did you take money?
I heard clearly.
Yes.
I heard clearly.
Yes.
I have never taken a penny off Aleem Khan. He is alleging that there is a film that I have taken money off, and I have made not a penny from a film that was produced, and I have no idea who financed it, but I was helping a young man, and I was helping him completely voluntarily. And you see, film accounts are something which are transparent. So nothing has been taken by Reham Khan. Secondly, I have no brother in Pakistan. Please get your facts sorted. My brother lives in Saudi. He is a foreign citizen. My uncle, I don't know which uncle he's talking about. I don't have any uncle that I can think of who is resident in Pakistan. Or is most of my family are settled overseas. I do not have an uncle who is alive in Montserrat.
Rubbish.
Sir, I do not have an uncle who is alive in Montserrat.
You tried to siphon funds out of Imran Khan Foundation, out of SKMT and Namal, and you were reprimanded because they had strict control over where the money goes.
My dear brother and misguided brother.
He never made it public, but I know this.
Can I please answer the question?
Let's listen. Okay, Salman, one moment. Salman, I get your point. Salman, one moment. Now, your allegations are clear.
Can I answer?
Yeah, Reham, one moment. Reham, you speak to me. Yes, Reham, you speak to me. Now, Salman Ahmad is repeatedly saying...
I wish to remind, well, I think Salman is obviously not aware of the fact that I was not allowed to be a part of any such foundation. I was clearly told, and I have never visited SKMT. I have never seen SKMT Lahore or Peshawar. I have never even been allowed to go in. So this is just completely nonsense, and everybody should know this. IKF, I have never had a connection with it, and I was never allowed to, nor did I ever volunteer to do that. Namal, I have no idea about it. I have only visited Namal as part of an interview. So there is no basis for this, you see. There is no basis for this.
And it involves libel, defamation. I will take you to court. I will take you to court personally.
Well, okay. You're free to express your viewpoint, Salman. But thanks. One. Let's settle all this one by one. You know, Meher Tarar is there as well. Meher has been saying, look at what Reham is saying. Now, I'm a little intrigued here because Reham Khan is saying that she has evidence which she has produced in the book. Reham says that, well, of course, we know that she was married to Imran Khan, so maybe she has access to this information. My point is this, Meher Tarar, why is everyone unwilling to buy the story which is being offered by Reham Khan? If she says that she has the evidence, if she doesn't have the evidence, one has the right to take her to court. So, Meher Tarar, what is your objection to the book?
Look, I said to you in the beginning that I have no issue with Reham or anybody else writing a book about her married life and about her comments about her husband. I don't have an issue with that. It's a right, and she can write what she wants to. I told you what my reservations about the book.
But she's clear.
The problem is
But she's clear that she has evidence. She's clear that she has evidence.
Just a second.
So either we don't buy that.
Just a second. Just a second. Of course, who am I to say that she doesn't have evidence to back up her statements or back up whatever she has written in the book? It's just what you just said in the beginning. It's the timings. In August 2017, a PMLN minister who's known for his obnoxious and awful language about Imran Khan and PTI and women and the world in general tweeted something that, the exact words that have been quoted by the person who actually revealed the alleged contents of Reham's books. Book. She knows. The first show she did. I want to say this on record. The first show she did after her divorce from Imran, I was on that show because she knew that I stood up for her when not many people stood up for her. She knows that.
Now, Mona,
I spoke to her the day she left for London.
Mona,
after she found out about this whole divorce thing.
No, Mona,
I was in touch with her and she knows.
Mona,
I was always aware.
Can I just?
My points are completely.
So you are making it
I'm just very surprised
that she's saying
yes,
all this.
I'm making
You're
it
surprised.
Clear. I'm making it clear that PMLN leaders have been tweeting about stuff in this book, which now months later.
I'm interested. Mona Alam. Mayor. Mona, it is really surprising me, and I'm finding this whole exercise frankly quite interesting because Reham Khan now twice, first in that conversation with Sanjay Suri and now when she was live with us, she's repeatedly insisting, I have evidence and I have produced that evidence in the book. Now the book has not yet come out and we are all seeing how Salman Ahmad is so angry. Salman Ahmad is now threatening that he will take her to court. If what she says, what she tells us in this interview also figures out, in that book Salman Ahmad is no record to say that I'll take her to court. Now I'm saying if this entire thing is a fishing exercise, if it's a fishing expedition, why is everyone in Pakistan so very uneasy? Either Imran Khan is his great angel
Just as-
or Imran Khan is his villain, as she's projecting him to be. Mona?
Yeah, just as Barrister Saab said, Bhupin, that obviously it's because of the timings of this book that it has become such a critical issue in here. But having said that, to your question itself, let the time arrive. Let the book come out. We don't have to preempt the book. And secondly, also, I'd like to hear from Khan Saab himself. Because Imran Khan is the one who's actually being addressed here. Nobody from Reham Khan has actually gone to Imran Khan and has actually been tweeting him in that manner, as you know, people from Imran Khan's side are tweeting Reham Khan. So I would actually want that Imran Khan should turn out magnanimous and he should actually stop being mum about the issue. He should let us know, he should enlighten us on the matter.
I couldn't agree more with you.
And it's very ironical.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Mona, because I must say that right through this program, we've been trying our best to get hold of Imran Khan. So if Mr. Khan is watching this broadcast online or anywhere else, my appeal to you, Mr. Khan, is that
I tagged him in the tweet.
Yeah, you've tagged him in your tweet.
I tagged him in the tweet.
You've tagged him in your tweet.
While I posted my. Yes,
I'm hoping that Imran Khan would either respond to your tweet, or Imran Khan watches this program and realizes that it's in his own interest to come out and clear the air. Maybe his friends like Salman Ahmed, can do the batting for him. But the truth is that Imran Khan needs to set the record straight when his own former wife is saying that this is the reality of Imran Khan. And we in India need to know exactly what's the story behind Imran Khan. Ambassador K.C. Singh is joining us on the phone line. Ambassador Singh, just look at the cast of characters here. Reham Khan making it clear that she has evidence to prove that Imran Khan is a stooge of divisive forces in Pakistan. How does this impact you and me? If what she's saying is true, how does this impact you and me? How does this impact the Indian viewer, Ambassador Singh?
No, it doesn't impact us. It's great theatre for us, but very clearly this is flowing from the debarring of Nawaz Sharif. The Supreme Court has used an article in the Pakistani Constitution, which was created by Ziaul Haq, which is Article 62(1)(f), which says that those who have to be members of Parliament should be Sadiq and Amin, which is honest and righteous. Now, if they have used it against Nawaz Sharif and banned him, then Nawaz Sharif and company will use everything which they can throw at Imran, because they perceive him as military's candidate or their favored candidate. So this had, Imran Khan should have seen it coming with his colorful personal life.
But look at Ambassador Singh. Ambassador Singh, look at what she says. Twice now over the course of last 1 hour, she has said that she has evidence to prove how Imran Khan, from being this vociferous opponent of the Pakistani military, ended up going and sitting in their laps. And she said she has access to some information which will embarrass Imran Khan. She says that she has access to information which shows that Imran Khan was indulging in corrupt practices. When I specifically asked her if he was taking money, she is giving us great examples of how Imran Khan was making money on the side, how all his employees and all his party colleagues were making money on the side. My point is that he's an individual who's a lead character in Pakistani politics today. Forget his cricketing career. Is this the real face of Imran Khan, the politician in Pakistan, Ambassador Singh?
Well, these are perils of being in politics. Now, if you are there, you will have your dirty linen washed. And this is what is happening. And particularly when you go after the Nawaz Sharif, after the Sharifs, particularly Nawaz Sharif, and say they are corrupt and they are not Amin and they are not Sadiq,
right,
and you get the Supreme Court to bar him, then they will throw everything back at you. That nor are you eligible. Nor is your personal life really completely above this thing. And as William Congreve said, there's nothing, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So he's really got it coming.
Okay, Ambassador Singh, thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador Singh. Quick final word from you, Ayaz Memon. You've been a commentator, you've looked at Imran Khan's exploits on the cricket field. We've all been great fans, followers of Imran Khan's cricketing career. But look at where he's finding himself on the political pitch, Ayaz. Look at the allegations which are being made by his former wife. Is Imran Khan in danger, frankly, of losing everything that he has gained in his life? Or do you believe that this is, at the end of the day, nothing else but a mere washing of dirty linen, which is being indulged in right now?
Well, seeing the timing of this controversy, if I may put it that way, and the elections are in just about 6 weeks from now, well, he'll have to bring out all his resilience, his expertise at playing the most difficult innings of his life in a very difficult situation. There are two facets to Imran. Obviously, as a great cricketer, iconic cricketer, one of the greatest the game has ever seen. And then, of course, he's had a 20-plus year career as a politician. And as Ambassador K.C. Singh mentioned, that once you get into politics, it's a completely different field, different playing arena. It's so murky, and you never know which side the assault will come from. It's happened in Imran's case that it is coming right from somebody who shared a house with him, and therefore it becomes even more difficult to kind of tackle at this point in time.
Okay.
On the face of it, the book is sex, drugs. It's a salacious kind of a story, but at the core of it, as she keeps mentioning, is that this man is not fit to be prime minister. I think that's really the core of her argument.
And that is what we want to know.
Political statement.
And that is what we want to know, that on what basis, what is the evidence does she have? And if indeed there is evidence, then why is Imran Khan going into radio silence mode? To all of you, thank you so much for joining us on Viewpoint tonight. What an absolute cracker of an episode this has been. A man whom all of us in India, as I began this show by stating clearly, all of us in India have had a view on Imran Khan. We've loved his cricketing exploits, or we've hated him for what he did on the cricket field to Indian cricket team. Now, as Imran Khan attempts to be the opening batsman once again, the all-rounder now on a Pakistani political pitch, is he being caught and bowled by his own former wife? Can Imran Khan undo the damage which is clearly being inflicted against him by Reham Khan? I think the only way for him to do so is once again put on his cricketing career, bring in his resilience, and come out and speak out in the open. If he's clear that he's right, then I think that Imran Khan must come out and state very, very clearly where he stands on all these allegations which are being made by his former wife. Let's step into a short break. On the other side, another big story breaking. Former President Pranab Mukherjee is set to be going to Nagpur tomorrow to be addressing an RSS convention. And who's getting upset with Pranab Mukherjee's moves? That story on the other side of the short commercial break.